What's good, squad? How you bossing on this good Saturday? It's your girl Kaylee, and welcome to another session of the Boss Stitch Boss Chick Corner. Just to reiterate for our new people here, the Boss Stitch Boss Chick Corner is definitely a space that I created where we can discuss all types of boss situations. It's been a space for creatives, for small business owners, anybody creative and bossing at what they do, whether it's music, art, marketing, other topics in the world of business alike. Then we get into the less formal, like relationships, clearing our minds, relieving stress, and just getting into life. But today we are going to keep it really, really bossy. Today we're going to get into the world of startups. Um, a lot of you may not know, I am a graphic designer. I am also a brand manager. So I deal with mainly small businesses and music artists who are wanting to jumpstart their career and don't know, how the steps around and get around and how to start it up. So we're gonna get into some startups. So we have a beautiful, beautiful guest, one of my besties, one of my bosses, and my partner. So we're gonna get into the startup world in just a moment. But before we do, you already know, hit that like button, comment, subscribe, subscribe. Let your girl know you're in the corner with us this afternoon. And we're going to keep it bossy. We're going to keep it saucy and get into this startup game, all right? Starting up to boss up with her information. I'm bringing in my girl, A. Nicole. Hey,
Hi
girl. Hey.
everybody. Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you on this Saturday?
Oh, I'm doing great. It just feels so good to finally be graced to get on the platform. I have arrived. I'm so
Finally.
happy. Yes, I have made it. Okay, and I'm glad about it.
So, fun fact, she is not one for the camera like this. So I'm so proud of her for
Not at all.
actually coming on and talking to us. She has so much knowledge. So I was like, it would be a waste to not come on here and share alike. So I'm gonna give a little background. Our friendship started with business. Like her dad, amazing guy. He used to contact me for different events and all of his business ventures. And A Nicole would be on the business side of it, making sure the back end is taken care of. And for so long, we never saw each other's faces. We
That's
never saw each
true.
other's faces.
That's true. I was just known as his assistant that has to pick up
Right,
all the ends of what he didn't feel like doing or didn't have time to do. So I just had to get everything
man.
approved, but he ended up turning it over to me, and that's how we met.
Exactly. So our friendship grew as we started to realize we do a lot of the same things. So
And it
things
was
that I
all
have
about, do
questions
you
about.
remember a posting on Craigslist? Do you
Yeah,
remember that? And he
I
had came and
do.
showed me this post, and I was like, okay. And he was like, I really want to. He's like, I know that we already have graphic designers. He said, but it's just something. He's like about her, and I want to start using her. And then I said, okay. He said, I saw some of her samples. They're really good. He never showed them to me. They're really good. And he was like, and we're gonna start using her. I was like, okay. And then
Now
they
this
just
is the
went from
part of the
there.
story I did not know. Like I remember my thought process when I made that
Yeah.
Craigslist post. And we
Yeah.
know the world of Craigslist. So I'm like, yeah. Like I
Right.
was just I was just trying to.
That was back when Craigslist was you being used for what it's supposed to be used for.
Oh yeah, like I was just starting up. I was like, I'm gonna try to get me some clients, and my motivation was I'm reaching out to some of my DJs. I'm posting posts here on Facebook. I'm posting on obviously Craigslist. I was posting them everywhere, and I was offering different packages, just trying to create my portfolio. And this is before I, fine tune my skills. So thank y'all for giving your girl a chance.
Of course. And guess what we have out of all of this and all of these years, it's been probably like no, maybe like 8 years, maybe
I
something
think
like that.
it's been a little bit more than it.
It probably so. It maybe has been like 10. more than likely, it's probably been about 10 if
I
I
want
go
to say,
back and just really look.
to be honest, I want to say 2014. So this has been the 10th year.
Okay, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense then. It really does. Cause that sounds about right. Really and truly. So and it has been a blessing. When I say you not only as, um a good, business partner that has happened over time. We'll talk about that as well. But
Mhm.
just a light. Like you are such a good person, and I am so grateful to know you just outside of the business. Our friendship is great, business is great, and I can just say that you are one person in my life that has never let me down. So I do want to thank you for that. No matter how big or small the task, you have never told me no. Never. Even if it's something crazy, you have never told me no. You
Listen,
might say something about it, but you're going to back me up anyway. So I appreciate that.
oh, don't make me cry. Don't make me cry. Thank you. You too. Like I can honestly say that I have met a twin flame. This is like for real. She is me and I am
Yay!
her.
That's
Like
right.
we think alike, and it's so crazy. It's like it's crazy, but it's good crazy, and I love
Right.
it. I love
And even and what's so crazy about it is like the times that we do think a little bit differently, we kind of be like, okay, wait a minute. She thinks something different on this. I, is that normal? Like, is that okay? It is okay. Like that's normal for people not to like always have the same thinking pattern, but we normally do. So it just gets weird when we don't because it happens every once in a while. So we'll be
it.
like, okay, we agree to agree. Like, okay, that's normal. Like you allowed to have your own opinion about something. It's
Right.
okay. Like it's fine. So
But definitely,
yes.
definitely, I know you, but I want the world to know you as well. So
Okay.
go ahead, hey Nicole, give them your spiel. Let them know who you are, where you from, what you do.
Okay. So my name is A Nicole, and I have been a entrepreneur for 18 years. And I am 36 years old. So that means from the time that I was 18, I was blessed with entrepreneurship. My parents have owned a business since I was 2 years old and have always owned something since then. So it's kind of like I wasn't born into it, but I was born into
You
it.
were born into
So that's right.
it.
So and it all started with my mother um, dropping me off at daycare, and she cried and bawled her eyes out. And I was really excited. She was dropping me off. She's crying and crying and crying. And they're like, ma'am, just leave. Like, she's fine. Like, I went out to start playing. I'm like, bye, mom. And she's like, she did not want me to, she did not want to leave me, but I was fine. So, anyway, she drops me off. And I think I stayed there a half a day, and that was it. So she decided that she was going to open up a daycare because she did not want to leave me. So it was a kind of separation anxiety. I guess that's what we call that now. But it was a good thing because she's been an entrepreneur ever since. And
Yeah.
it blossomed to a great thing for her because she did childcare for 25 years. And some of her daycare children are my age, of course, and they're grown with kids. And so it's a beautiful thing to see that she has, been able to be a part of, children's lives that long and for them to remember her and know her. And a lot of their
Right.
parents were educators. So that says a lot about her as well. But that's how that started.
Okay,
And
I knew about the daycare, but I didn't know it was. I didn't know it was because of
you don't know
that.
how it started. Yes, that's how it started. So, Donna, if you're out there, I'm sorry, but I had to tell it. So, so, but yes, I have had a great support system my entire life. I was born in Mississippi. Um, we left Mississippi when I was a toddler, and I was raised in between Kansas and Texas. And I stayed in Texas for forever, and now I've come back to Mississippi. So I'm doing a back and forth thing. Most of my family lives in Mississippi, so I A little bit about me as far as business background. I own a commercial cleaning franchise that is really wonderful, and it has changed my life in a way that I can. Sorry about the ambulance. Has changed my life in a way that I can't explain because it's taught me um, that it's levels to entrepreneurship because you don't just, when you have your own business, you run your business the way that you want to. But now, as far as having a franchise, still you have to adhere to a code of ethics that you didn't create.
Right.
So it really humbles you, in a sense, because you have to follow those rules and regulations that you did not create. So it has taught me a lot about myself, and showed me what more that I want to do. The
Exactly.
other thing that I've been doing, since I actually, what I first started doing when I was 18 was I started new business startups, and I've been doing that, and been a consultant for that long. And it's something that I actually love to do for small businesses and athletes. And I I don't think it's something that I ever would stop doing because it doesn't feel like work to me. So that's how I know that it's something that is made for me. And when you know what your calling is, and you know what, and you found your purpose and why God has put you here on earth, then you'll never work another day in your life. And I know that for a fact, and that's how I feel. So I know that this is something that is put on my heart to do and something that I love. So
Definitely,
that is
definitely.
two things.
Listen, she is amazing at what she does. Like the thought process. You, I don't think you'll find a person who gives as much care as she does. When she says she's behind you 100%, she's behind you 100%. Like she could text me at 3 a.m. saying, "Hey, I just had this thought process for this person. Can we put this into play?" So when you're not working, she's definitely working. She working right
That's
now.
right. And when I right, and when look, and when you're not working, I'm working, and when I'm working, you're
I'm
not working.
working.
But a lot of times we're working at the same time.
True, true.
Look, because I got a text from you at 3 a.m. I was like, I was asleep. How did I miss this? Normally I'm up. You was up working. And you
But
created something great for one of our clients that we've had for a few years now, in which, by the way, he is so ecstatic with why what you created for him. So, I mean, not that it's always that way. We always strive for customer satisfactory, and 99.9% of the time we get it. So that's a good
that's
thing.
right. That's right. Okay, okay. So we had a question here. So what advice would you have for prospective business owners, and have you encountered racism?
Okay, so the advice that I have for prospective business owners is to, um, I, I understand that sometimes you might not always know exactly what your passion is or the best business to be in for you. So even if you don't know, start somewhere, because if you start somewhere, you might not end up where you started, but the thing is, it's going to help you figure out what it is and help you find your niche as far as what you're good at, what you can be consistent, what you can be consistent in, and as long, and also progress, and I think that me and my family have had 20 different businesses, but the thing about the businesses are nothing ever failed. If we decide to close the business, it was because it was something that we no longer wanted to do. So as long as you put your heart in it and you do your best and you do right by people, you'll never fail.
That's right. That's right. And what about the racism component? Like
Okay,
again, we are black and brown people. So sometimes when we come to
for
the
sure,
table, it's not always nice and it's not always cute.
for sure. Me, as far as racism, um, I have experienced it, in Texas and in Mississippi, I can say. But the way that I experienced it was in a different form because it was almost like when you're still respectful, even though that you know that people may not be treating you properly or they may not be giving you the respect that you deserve as a human being, you know, and you still rise above and treat them nice and cordial anyway,
Hmm.
um, they have no choice but to back down. So when I realized that that is what's going on, I may change my trajectory when it comes to the way I handle that person.
Hmm.
And if they are to get disrespectful with me, then I try to still let them know that you know I'm respectful to them, you know, regardless of the way that they may feel. And they've always backed down, you know, when it came to that and would try to make it seem like it's not that, but I know it's that. So I
Exactly.
just try my best to handle it the right way and move on because it's one thing about it. You reap what you sow. And whether
That's
I
right.
want you to pay for the things that you've done to me or someone else, um, you will have to encounter those things, you know, with your higher power. So,
That's
uh,
right.
you just treat people right, you know, and we all know the golden rules. We learned that in kindergarten, so there's no excuse, you know, about that. And I grew up in a multicultural setting, so pretty much I went to school with every race
Hmm.
that there is, pretty much. So I have so many different friends that are different races and nationalities, and I like that because it gets to show me that there's no one way to live.
That's
And
right.
I love that. That's one of the things that I love. And that's pretty much it.
That's right. I can agree. We're both also in the nonprofit sector, so definitely when reaching out to people to ask for assistance, and people are kind of resistant to assisting because they're not quite sure what it is. I've encountered that in my hometown where they were unaware of what it was, so it was
For
automatically like,
sure.
okay, here is a black girl coming in trying to scam. And
For
then
sure.
also I look younger than my what my ID says, so she thought
Yes.
she also thought the lady thought I was like a teenager. So when I was
Right.
trying to explain to her, she just kind of brushed me out. And then I think
Right.
somebody went to her, and it was crazy because it was a company that my grandfather worked at for over 30 years.
Wow.
So they hadn't seen me in a while. So it was
Wow.
like, I guess somebody pointed was like, you do know who that was, right? And
Right.
then they came back and, oh well, we were just trying to make sure, we were just trying to, yeah. So now I
Right.
know if I plan to do again, I know who not to kind of approach and how to approach, and just how to bring it up. So you learn through the process. And so never think anything is, this is my advice for the business owners. Never think that anything that comes and is like a roadblock is a roadblock. It's just a small detour to help you learn, in a sense, so that you can level up the second time you try. So keep trying, and like you said, you'll never fail if you keep learning in the process.
That is so true. And that was one of the things that, my father would teach me, you know, a lot about, you know, encountering those type of situations and what to do, you know, if those things are to happen. And we would, even with traveling, you know, with horsemanship, it's a lot of things that he taught me that um, made me prepared. And that's part of what, you know, Bridging the Gap is about because
Hmm.
it was more like we bridging everything together. It doesn't matter what race you are, what nationality you are. We're all
Right.
literally coming together for one common cause, and that's just to have a good time and to spread the love of people.
I
So,
agree.
and
So
that's one of the things that I hope to keep carrying on, you know, and spreading. So,
I love it. Okay, so we're going to get into, since you are officially a new face in
okay,
the corner.
all right,
We're gonna get into a little small icebreaker here. This is the small business edition, for LLC versus sole proprietorship. So
okay,
it's gonna be a this or that. So you tell me which one this is or which one that is. First up, Having unlimited owners on the team, is that sole proprietor or LLC?
I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
Uh-oh. Unlimited owners, is that sole proprietor or LLC? Can you hear me now? Are you thinking? Oh yeah,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but did it go out? Did your AirPod go out?
I can't hear you.
It went out. Okay, 1 second. So we got the sole proprietor versus LLC edition. First up was unlimited owners. If y'all know the answer, y'all drop a comment in the comment section. Is it LLC or sole proprietor? Unlimited owners, having unlimited owners in your business. Want to take a guess? Drop a comment. Okay, so I do the first two. So having unlimited owners, that would be a LLC. So you can have a full team of people that can be a part of the ownership team. Second one up, no paperwork to start. Y'all think that's sole proprietor or LLC? What you thinking? Drop it in the comments if you know.
Can you hear me now?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yay! Yay! Okay. Sorry, I don't
Okay.
know what happened. I'm like, okay. Did you
I could
already
tell.
ask me the
I could
question?
tell. I did. I could
Okay.
tell that the audio changed, so I knew your AirPod head went out.
Yeah, I was like, what is going on? Okay.
So the first up, I gave them the answer for that. So sole proprietor or LLC. LLC, you
Hmm.
can have unlimited owners on your team.
Okay.
Second one, no paperwork to start. Is that sole proprietor or LLC?
Sole proprietor.
All right, all right. Um, having one owner, is that sole proprietor or LLC?
Sole proprietor.
Okay, okay.
Don't be trying to
Uh,
trick me. Don't be trying to switch it up on me.
you know, little rebel.
A little razzle dazzle. Look.
So, which one can't go public? Is it LLC or sole proprietor?
Sole proprietor.
You sure?
Well, oh, you saying go public? Like
They
you mean
can't go
as in?
public, like
Oh,
from moving
LLC.
from. Okay,
LLC.
definitely, definitely, definitely.
Because it's
Uh,
limited liability, so you can't do that.
yep, yep.
Some people try. That's not a good idea.
Whew.
It's illegal.
Look, I think that should definitely be another episode for
It
real.
should. It should. Because I have a couple stories. Yeah,
Oh,
that we don't have time for right now, but I do have a couple of stories to share
cool.
with that situation. Yeah.
Okay. Personally liable for damages, sole proprietor or LLC.
Sole proprietor.
Okay. Uh, which one is not recognized globally?
Sole proprietor.
Nope, LLC. It's limited. It's limited to.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Globally.
Mhm,
Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah,
mhm.
you got me. Okay. Okay, you got me.
I
Okay.
did. I did.
Okay.
And last one, no personal liability for damages. You're not liable for damages.
So who's not liable for damages?
Yeah, which one is not liable? It does not.
LLC.
Bing, bing, bing. There we have it. So y'all, if y'all thinking about sole proprietor or LLC, I hope we just gave y'all a little bit to think about. All right, all right. Now let's get into brand profiling. Yeah, you know that's my favorite, and you know that we still on ours. So yeah.
Yes, yes, most definitely. Most definitely.
So, what is like the number one question or problem area that some of your clients have a hard time developing? one of the concepts when it comes
Okay,
to
the number one question that I get asked the most before someone even starting a business, and this it's kind of strange, but it's not. But people ask me, "What makes the most money?" What is because I can do anything. So whatever I can do that makes the most money, that's what I want to do.
Okay, so I think I've said this a couple times on here. The reason I do my brand profile is to see what it is that you're passionate about. Because, like you said, when it's something that you love to do, it's not gonna feel like work or stress. It's not gonna feel like a burden. So you
Because you
have
don't
to,
know what kind of hours you may have to put in.
whew,
Because
for real.
sometimes I work 12 hours, sometimes I work 16 hours. I have even worked 2 days straight with no sleep. I've done it before. Sometimes, like, the grind is serious. When you are passionate about what you do and you want to make sure that your business is on top of its game, those are the kind of things that you have to sacrifice. Because one thing about it is, if you don't have those clients, you don't make any money. It's
Hello.
not like going to clock into a 9 to 5. Like, sometimes you might be able to, sit at your desk and be on Instagram and Facebook, and it doesn't really matter. You might be able to get away with it a little bit. But when you have your own business, it does not work like that. If you don't get the work complete, you don't get paid. And if you don't get paid, you don't have any income.
And this is the true definition of time is money.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, definitely that's something to think about. At least have an idea or an area that you might be passionate about, so that you can give it your all. Because if it like for me, I have not a need to be. I'm artistic, but I ain't got a need to be painting people
Right.
houses.
Right.
They tell me to go paint a house at 8 in the morning, six to go out at 6 and start painting at 7 and then be done at 5. It ain't gonna get done.
It's not going to happen.
Sorry to that man. Whoever needed a house painted. That's not my forte. So finding something that I am artistically in love with that helps me answer the other parts of the brand profile. And I also screen some of my clients when their motive is
Right.
simply the money. That's it, simply the money.
Right.
It tells me a lot about how our business relationship is going to be, who's going to be putting in most of the work, or
Because the
what's
truth
the
of the matter is, everything makes money. You know, rubber bands is $1 billion
industry. Come
product.
on.
Yes, it is. So anything makes money. Picking up trash, paper, everything makes money.
Listen,
Everything.
I'm like our boy Chris Brown. I want to go invest in some the light switches.
I heard that.
He said that he said I make an investment in light switches. Yeah. So yeah, keeping that in mind. So what tips should they keep in mind when setting their business goals once they have found that passion?
Be realistic. You don't have to set goals so high that to other people may seem like milestones. So I would start with short term goals and give yourself something to work at. And I am guilty of this as well. And Christina can tell you, like, I reach for the sky first, and then she has to bring me back down because she's like, okay, hold on. Let's
It's
pace
attainable.
ourselves.
It's
Yeah,
attainable. What we need to
let's
do first.
right. Let's just, let's stay right here first, and then let's rise up. Because like I said, I'm gonna come up here first. I'm gonna start up here, and then she'd be like, okay, hold on. Let's bring it back down. Let's get here. Let's get here. Let's get here, and then let's get here. So that's the good thing. Also, you want to have someone or a company behind you that really has your best interest. So when you're picking brand strategists and brand managers and consultants, you want to make sure that you are trying to pick someone that you feel in your heart has your company's best interests.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, definitely. Create those milestones, and y'all know my favorite. Remember your why, because when you remember your why, you can easily look at this particular milestone and say it aligns with this, and I need to have this much focus, or I need to do this. So
That's
remembering
right.
your why is your reminder of why you're doing it and how you need to do it.
Okay.
Yep, yep. So business planning, and this is it. Listen, to be honest, it's one of my least favorite, and
Yes,
that's why she's my partner.
it is. It's not fun. Okay, so that's understandable.
So, what is
Um,
the hardest section in the business plan, and how should a person navigate going through that?
the hardest part is to start.
Mm.
Let's just be honest. The hardest part is really to start.
It is
Once
overwhelming.
you come up with your plan, and sometimes, I understand that some people um, don't know how to even how to come up with their plan, how to create their plan. So again, that's why consultants are important to help you, so that you can be able to navigate and make sure that you see those goals and those plans through. So, but once you get the plan and the plan is up and ready and it's ready to go, the hardest part is to start. Because one thing about it, if you're passionate about it, it doesn't matter how many no's you get, you're going to make sure that it only takes one yes. So when you get that one yes, it's up from there. And sometimes you may have to create a yes. Sometimes you might have to do some things on your own, um, and make some sacrifices
Did y'all
to
hear
get
that?
to where you
Create a
need to
yes.
be.
Create a yes. Like when you're not invited to the table, create your own table.
And all you have to do is bring value. So you have to be valuable. So you figure out what it is that can make you valuable to wherever you're trying to get to, and that's all you need. That's it.
Okay, okay. And I know a lot of people like I use a lot of my dollars, my own personal funds. I'm about to get depleted. Um, what are some of the best funding opportunities that you've seen for some of your clients?
Okay, so as far as funding goes, that is a big question too that everybody wants to know. I need some money to start my business. How do I get money to start my business? Because I need money for this, I need money for that. Truth of the matter is, you have to make sure that your credit is where it needs to be, because you may have to uh, be an authorized signer and be solely responsible for the debt that the business creates.
Hmm.
And a lot of times you do have to start out that way, but you want to make sure that your credit is intact while building business credit. There are some programs that I have hit or missed and learned along the way what works, who works. Things have changed too. Um, what worked 5 years ago isn't working right now. And so
Right.
you got to make sure you stay up with the trends again, making sure that you have a good strategist, manager behind you and good consultants behind you, because you have to be able to change with the times and they need to know what those times and those changes consist of. So you got to have someone that's knowledgeable and stays up on their game so they can be able to help you be on yours.
Okay, okay. So I'm gonna get into a little brand architecture. So with that word, it encompasses the whole entire image, the planning, and everything that builds the overall image of that brand. So do most of your startup companies think in terms of longevity? Like I know my brand profile, it helps you focus in on it, but do many of yours think of longevity, or are they thinking solely in the moment? And I know a lot of mine, they think in terms of that big picture, the big
Component.
picture component, and it's
And it's
never
never
what I need to do right now. It's always the big picture, It's like there's no in between. It's always, I'm right here and I'm not right where I want to be, versus I see the money.
Right.
So the in between, they don't really see the in between. What about yours? Do they even acknowledge the efforts that you put them in that longevity?
Yes and no. Yes and no. Some do and some don't. So it's kind of hard to say. And I think a lot of times it's because they may not even understand what it means. So they'll just take a guess. And again, I keep saying this because it's true. This is what your consultants are for. This is why you want to make sure that you get someone that's knowledgeable that can help you and to help you, get to where you need to be. Because guess what? None of us know everything. So we gotta leave some perfection up to somebody. You know what I mean? We gotta make sure that we leave some professionalism and some knowledge to the people who know those, who know those segments in those certain areas of business.
Right. So with that, that lets me know that there is structure in a sense. So what is the best part of having structure?
You said, what is the best part of having structure?
Yeah, like a structured setup in the
A
beginning.
structured setup to set you up for success. Because one thing about it, it teaches you a lot as far as time management. Time will cost you money. Things will happen. I'll give you a prime example. Time waits for nobody. And when you have a specific time to be done with something, it can cost you a whole lot of money or a delay into what you need to be done, that could really cost you. For example, you could go to the post office and let's say you need something mailed off that day. If you don't make the post office here downtown closes at 7. If you don't make it to the post office before 5 o'clock, your package is not going out that day. If you get to that register at 5:01, your package is going out the very next day. They don't care who you are. They don't care how much money you have. You will be waiting until the next day. So if it's something that you needed to go out that same day, it's not happening. They can't overnight it. They can't do anything. So that, you got to make sure that that comes along with structure, time management, promptness, being able to, um, and not only that, it teaches you what you need, because you have to be able to identify your strong and weak areas. I know what mine are, and I know what I need help with, and I'm not afraid to say it. And that's what I have other people to help me with. So,
Right. Definitely. So having a team, you can have structure where this person is designated for this and this person is designated for that. And you can also get those reminders that you need to continue to keep you reminded of your why and who you are. And does this fit with your brand? And does this really get your message out? Does this kind of withstand your customer service at the same time? Are you relating to your people? Like it is all those things that create your image. So you have to be mindful of the things that you're setting in place because they all tie into each other.
that's right.
Yep, yep. So which brings us into the outsourcing. Yeah, outsourcing. um what have been some good outsourcing resources? Like how can somebody find those outsourcing opportunities?
You, yeah, you're a good outsourcer. You are a great outsourcer. You are the person that if you don't know the answer, you're going to figure it out. And that's what a good consultant is about. So, again, get a consultant that knows how to figure things out. They don't have to know everything, but as long as they are consistent with helping you, they will figure it out. And that's what we
Listen,
are here for.
I am often in my office and somebody will come in and ask me something about my business. And if I don't know it, I'll be like, let me reach out to my partner, my business partner, and we'll get back to you. So she is it for me as well. So our
For sure.
network of people, like my network of people intrigued her, and the people that she knows intrigued me. So that's been a foundation for us building those resources. So
For sure.
you want a person in your corner who has the resources and information and people that he or she can point you to.
Right.
Definitely. Um whew. So I know my very first episode of the podcast was about burnout, and our method and our mission is to decrease that burnout. So, what types of scenarios do you find that startups should? What are those things that should make them go looking for a team? Like, what do they come to you with? Say, I'm about ready to give up.
Um, I would say one of the things is when they figure out that they're not as smart as they think they are. And a lot of times, a lot of people think that they know everything, or really, it's like that when it comes to starting up a business. So you have to know and be honest with yourself that you don't know everything, and everybody needs help, and that's okay. So you'll get burnt out by allowing a lot of time to go by to try to do things, and it won't work for you because you just simply don't know what you're doing.
Mm,
So you have to be honest with yourself.
definitely. And I
And it will
experience
save you a
people
lot of time and a
who
lot of
say
money.
that as well. Like, well, I was doing that, or I said that, I thought of that, but it's the implementation as well. One person cannot do everything. You have to be able to trust who you are outsourcing to. They are outsourced a resource for a reason. And
For
if
sure.
they're the type to, listen it to exactly what it is and comprehend exactly what it is that you need, trust the process. Trust the process and allow that burden to be taken off of you so that you can really focus on putting in that other work that really will get you your result.
For sure.
It has to work hand in hand. It's like it's a machine. I can't ride a bike without pedals. So somebody's the pedal. Somebody's the
Somebody's
handlebar.
gonna try.
Somebody gonna try to be the handlebar and the pedal at the same time.
Right.
Okay, okay. So we get into a little bit of marketing as well. And that's my favorite. As a designer, that is my favorite. So what's your favorite marketing tips for startups? And give us some examples with some of your different businesses that you come in contact
Um, the my favorite thing is literally the startup. I love the idea of the logos, the letterheads, the business cards, the T-shirts or apparel, um, the accessories that they may want, like pens and notepads or whatever it is that their business or they want to start with or they feel like that their business needs.
with.
And
Okay.
that's my first part that I like, which is the accessories. I love those.
Merch is definitely one of those things to be excited about because t-shirts, you're your whole walking billboard. And I love it even more when you come to me and ask me to design the shirt so I can say, I did that. I
I
did
did that, right?
that.
Because it makes it come to life. Like that's the first part of a business where people are actually able to see something. You could talk about it, but if you don't have any kind of um, if you don't have anything to show, then it's not real to people. It can be real to you, but it's not real to others unless you have something that they can see.
Definitely. And I just had one of my clients to say that for years he had been promoting his marketing company. And he was like, I should have had a logo by now. And for years I had been putting it on flyers. He was like, I should have had a logo by now. So finally he now has his logo.
But marketing has come a long way.
Yeah, yeah.
Flyers have come a long way.
Whew. Yes,
I
they have.
remember creating them in Word and on a regular typing sheet of paper with Word art. And
I can't exactly remember. It was some kind of Microsoft software that helps you like create invitations and brochures and calendars and flyers. I have to go back and remember, but that's where I began to play around with things. And I think I designed my own high school graduation invitations. And people were like, I like those. Can you design them for me? So even then, I did not know I was a designer then,
exactly,
but I've been
exactly.
designing since then.
Right, right.
but, but yeah, so people definitely think outside of the box when you are marketing. It's all about having something on hand that represents your brand. My mom and I are big
Yeah,
on like even subliminal messaging to continue to keep it in people's minds. So when they see it again, it's like I feel like it's familiar to me. So you have to
right,
consistently keep it in front of their eyes and do it in
right,
some unique ways. Definitely do it in some unique ways. So yeah, keep it consistent and unique.
for sure.
I don't think I asked you this in the beginning. I was supposed to. So when we were doing the sole proprietor and LLC, so in your opinion, when should they label it as sole proprietor and when should they label it as LLC?
Okay, so a lot of times uh, when you're first starting out, you really want to, it depends on what type of business that you're actually wanting to start.
So the type of business definitely matters. Um, as I was doing research in the beginning, I realized it's safe to say that, of course, LLC, you have to do your taxes and you have to do them well, or they will be coming back for you. So it will be best to look at the number, the limit for your taxes. So proprietor, I think it depends on the amount of money that is being put in for me. And that's where I go when I speak to some of my clients. Depending on the amount of money that you are pulling in, it will land you in either bracket. So definitely look up those numbers of what that bracket is because at a certain point, yeah, taxes matter. Taxes definitely did was a thought process for me. And a lot of people I would hear when I worked at the post office when they would come in when it was tax time, they were like, "I feel like I'm spending more in taxes than I'm earning." So again, that made me go look at the numbers. It depends on how much you're bringing in and what the business is. But I let A Nicole kind of chime in on it as well. Definitely, definitely. Anybody has any more questions? Anything intrigued you? Sole proprietor, LLC, marketing, outsourcing, the funding, just your entire brand profile. What do we have? What do we have? Awesome. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you. It was very informative. That's what Brandon says. We hope that we could drop some more gems on you at a later time. If you have any questions, definitely reach out. You want to be a guest on the podcast for music artists. If you have music that you want to send over, shoot me an email at the email that's scrolling at the bottom of the screen. That's kaylee.baent@gmail.com. Like I said, if you want to be a guest, hit me up and let me know. Follow me on the TikTok. Follow me on the Facebook and Instagram. Yes, at Twitter or X. Follow me on those at the tags below. Official K Lee for Facebook, TikTok, and X official underscore Kaylee. Snapchat should be Snapchat. No, it's the TikTok should be the same as official underscore Kaylee. So yeah, get at me and let's continue to connect. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate. Your girl is here for you. I am a source and I bring on the sources. I want to thank A Nicole for stopping by this afternoon with us and making her debut to the corner. She will not be a stranger again. She is my business partner. We do this. Um, and we'll have some updates coming. So make sure to check the description box and the comment section for how to get in contact with us and see all the things that we are doing. But until next time, y'all, keep it bossy, keep it saucy, and don't forget to tell your girls how you bossing.